Today I'm with Wendy. Wendy, you're telling me you're out here homeless and you're currently going through methadone. How long have you been using methadone?
Um, I have been on and off methadone like this for about, I think, like 6 months. You have to get on a pretty good dose for it to like really do its job and stuff like that. You have to go every day. They'll send rides for you and everything. So there's absolutely like people don't have to stay out here like sick on heroin or blues. Like there is methadone or Suboxone. You can take those things like, and you know what I mean. People they send you rides and they'll bring you to the clinic and you get your dose every day and you can go up as high as you want on that, like on methadone or those other medications or whatever, and it prevents you from going through withdrawal completely. But you have to like let it work and take time. So I guess I've been taking it like for like 6 months, but I got kicked out like 3 months ago and I had to start all over. So I'm at a real low dose right now. So unfortunately, like that doesn't. I'm still using blues sometimes, but yeah, it's getting better. I guess is what I'm trying to tell you. You know, sorry.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, I have 2 kids.
And do they know that you're out here on the streets?
Yeah, they do. I don't speak to them. They both have been adopted but they both know that, like, you know, after a series of unfortunate events, that one of the things that I did was kind of punish myself, or I guess I ended up out here as a punishment, I guess. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't, I didn't come out here because I wanted to be out here, but I think like there's a lot of people out here that are SMI. There's a lot of people out here that are just using drugs. There's a lot of people out here that are like looking for family. I was more out here because I had nowhere to go and because I felt like it was the I don't know how I ended up out here. I guess you'll have to probably edit that part out. I'm sorry.
When did you
My
start?
kids do know. Yeah, I'm out here. Yeah, they know that this is like what I thought I deserved a couple years ago. Like after losing my kids.
And when did you start? At what age did you start using
I
drugs?
was an old timer. Like I graduated high school, and I didn't use drugs and stuff like that. I smoked pot and drank alcohol sometimes, but I didn't start using hard drugs until I was about 20, 29. I had a bunch of surgeries and got sick, and the doctor put me on like pain medicine and stuff like that, and I ended up addicted to oxys that the doctor was prescribing me, and IV Dilaudid, which you go to a hospital to get, and then from there I became a heroin addict. I was on heroin for 10 years, and now I've been on blues for the last year, and I don't use heroin anymore.
What's the biggest difference that you would say between H and blues?
I guess like other people seem a lot more fiendish on blues. People will sell like a $200 iPhone for one blue. If people will be like, I'll give you this for one blue. Like they act really crazy about that. I see girls willing to do crazy things for one blue. Like they like they act like heroin addicts are pretty chill, and like they get sick, but they don't. The only time you see them like really freak out about stuff or like get fiendish is when they do meth. I feel like people on blues, they act like tweakers a lot. Like it's like more of like it's it's like an opiate, but they act more fiendish for it. I feel like you're gonna have to, yeah, I don't know.
What do you
It's more
think?
shady or something. Like it
More
makes
shady?
people steal everything, and like it's brought like the scum back up. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I feel like my heroin addicts friends weren't like that. Like the people that I used blues with and shit, they're all really shady. They'll steal anything and lie about anything, and I don't remember being like that before.
And why do you think there's so many young people now with blues? Why do you think it's so popular with the
I think
youth?
that those songs and stuff, like literally, I mean, it sounds stupid, but I really think, like, those like rap songs that say, Percocet, Percocet, or like celebrities doing it, and people like myself, like walking up and down the street, like, I think a kid, or like people's big brothers and big sisters, kids see their sibling or celebrity, or like, just some woman walking down the street, and they think that they want to do what that person's doing. They think it looks like glamorous or cool, or like that they're gonna have control over it, but it's just as bad as heroin. Like, that's the thing that people aren't understanding. It's like way more fiendish and way more addictive than heroin. Not way more, but it is more addictive than heroin, I feel like. And there's 100 more people on it than there was heroin. And just, I mean, when I went to jail, the people that were on heroin kicked for a little bit longer, like had withdrawals. But the people that were on kicking from blues, they all dance and stuff. Like, that's, you know, I mean, a kid needs to know that kind of stuff too. Like, when you come down, like, you're gonna poop your pants. I hope you're ready for that.
What type of dangers are out here for a woman by herself out here on the streets?
That's like another thing that's different too. Like, for a couple years when I was on the street, I survived just by being like pretty decent and like tough. You know, nobody would really like mess with me. But after a certain amount of years and like kind of switching locations or streets or blocks or whatever, you know what I mean? You walk off by yourself and eventually one day somebody's going to attack you. And that's just what happens to every woman out here, I feel like. And a lot of men too. I mean, not necessarily being, you know, men being jumped and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I walked off one day by myself like at 10 o'clock at night in a safer part of like the town, and somebody attacked me. And I don't like to be by myself at night, like wandering around like that. I try to find like a hotel or like somewhere to be that's safer than just wandering around, because you know, it's not safe like that. And then I've lost a lot of friends like the last 2 years to random different kinds of deaths and things like that. Not necessarily overdoses, but like just really random things like that. You know, being out on the streets and stuff like that, I feel like it's really easy. People make it, you know, a mistaken identity. You can come out here and party for like a week, and somebody might think you're somebody else, and you could end up like losing your life or something. These people are like, they're serious. You know what I mean? They're not. It's not fun. It's not temporary. If you like think you're gonna be doing it temporarily, you won't be. Nobody ever stops when they want to.
So, is there anything glamorous or fun about living this lifestyle?
Not at all. Not at all. Like, at first, it seemed like I was camping for like maybe like a day. It seemed like I was camping, and then once, you know, I like got a crush on this man or this dude, whatever. You know, and then I started coming down from the blues. He had to see my like all sweaty and boogers and snotty and like, you know what I mean? It's just not, there's nothing. Wearing the same outfit for like 2-3 days in a row, even if you go get yourself a new outfit, like, you're not, I mean, I didn't smell good. And, I mean, that's not how I live usually. I wasn't impressing anybody, that's for sure.
Right.
My nails weren't done. Like, my hair might be clean because I wash it under like a little spigot, but I don't know. I feel like it's not. And him too, like, you know, these guys that are dressed all cute or like have their swagger going on. That's just like, you know, when they're like laying down inside or when they're like mobbing up and down the street, all that stuff has to come off because it's too hot out here. And somebody sees that, most of the time people sell what they have, or you know, I mean, it gets stolen if you're out here on the streets like that. People that are like on the streets don't have belongings like that, you know what I mean, they don't have bling and stuff like that, because it gets stolen very easily. I saw 2 people sitting on a bus stop earlier, and they were doing scratchers, and they nodded off, so I snagged the scratcher. I mean, I knew the people, so I was kind of joking, but you know, kind of like a subliminal warning, like, don't nod off with your scratchers on your lap.
Did you win?
I haven't done it yet. I don't know. Hopefully.
You haven't scratched it yet?
Nope.
So, what advice would you give young people or anyone thinking about trying blues? What advice would you give them based off of what you've learned and experienced?
Like, I would like to say, like, talk to your parents. You know what I mean? And maybe they're, like, I believe that there's, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that there's like a safe way to try a blue. I mean, I guess if your parents wanted to sit there with you and you guys could all try a blue and then never ever do it again, if that was like, you know, satisfy your curiosity. But the problem with addictive drugs like heroin and blues is that when you do it one time, you like it and the way it makes you feel. So you say, I'm just gonna do it one more time, and then I won't do it anymore. And then that time becomes one more time, and all of a sudden, your body starts to get addicted to it, where you don't even want to do it anymore, and you don't have the money to do it anymore, but your body starts to actually need it, like as just like it does air. And so you start to get super sick without it, and it becomes a really, really bad habit. Like anything becomes a habit after 21 days of doing them, like consecutively. But these kinds of drugs make you, like, I mean, you have to do them after, like, I think after like 2 weeks of doing it every day, like your body would start to get sick without it. And so I would recommend you telling your family members or your parents if you are like thinking about doing that. And if you've already done it and you are already like addicted to it that way, there's methadone programs that you can go on, and there's Suboxone doctors, it's Subutex doctors, detox facilities you could go to. And like there's other alternatives. You don't have to stay like, you know, I mean, trapped and addicted to that and like end up out here in it, because even if you're not a criminal, you end up in jail eventually.
And
or dead.
What about parents? You're a parent.
Every single person that looks like regular or not regular, like this drug is not like, there is not a type. You know what I mean? I've seen teachers, I've seen therapists, I've seen a drug therapist buying drugs, like buying these blues. You know what I mean? Like I've seen off-duty cops. I've seen everybody that, I mean, you know, there's good. They literally, it's like there's not a type. There's preppy. There's like, you know what I mean? There literally is no type. You're not going to know that your kid's going to do it. They're not going to be hanging out like with a certain crowd that makes you think that they're going to go try that stuff. These are like good kids, bad kids, all of them. You know what I mean? There's just literally no type. That it's not like they're going to some seedy, you know, drug lords and getting a bunch of heroin. Like this is just a little blue pill, and it doesn't seem scary to people anymore. Like,
yeah, that's the scary part, that it's common, it's everywhere, it's so cheap,
right?
And that's a problem for
right.
our next, you know, the youth and the next generation, because that's where I told you, you know, that this channel is prevention through awareness. By you sharing your story, maybe you can help somebody prevent from losing their life or even trying this to begin with. So I'm gonna thank you for sharing your story, for talking, and for helping out the community. What I'm gonna do right now is give you I'm going to give you donated items. That's a little bag sent by one of my subscribers. If you could open it up.
Thank you.
The subscriber is her name is Seashell, and what's in there?
Women's hygiene. Like, you guys wouldn't be surprised. Girls need all this stuff. This is like, you know, stuff for girls that time of the month, and some baby wipes. These are things that all of us need. Even like if you're not a girl, you need baby wipes all the time. A shampoo bar. I don't know what that is, but I'll find out. It's like a
soap, basically.
Basically, but it's for your. I mean, it's like shampoo, but it's like a bar. That's really cool. And some fresh socks. I needed this stuff very badly. Thank you. What's her name?
Seashell.
Seashell. Very much. Thank you.
This is from some more toiletries from Jane.
Thanks, Jane. You can never have too much toothpaste and stuff like that.
Here's a pepper spray to keep you safe. That's
yeah,
from,
this
also
stuff
from
is
Jane.
like, I mean, don't people on the streets, like, they there's a lot of people that hand out these little thingies, but nobody ever gives people, like, you know, things to keep themselves safe, or like in the wintertime blankets and stuff like that, like, or in the summertime those heat, you know, those things you wear around your neck, or
right.
I don't know, like when you have extra leftovers and stuff, people like will eat your leftovers.
I bet.
You know, stuff like that. Just don't forget about. They're not all the scarier ones. They're like usually the nicer ones. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid.
So speaking of leftovers, I'm gonna get you lunch. Lunch today is provided by Chuck Shoot. He has a podcast, the Chuck Shoot podcast, SHUTE on YouTube. He's donating lunch for you. So thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck.
And if you guys want to subscribe to Chuck, he has a good podcast on there, and he's helping the community. So Wendy, stay safe. I'm gonna give you my contact information for you to contact me, so we can do an update in the future, see how you're doing with your methadone. And please stay safe, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you.